Hello, and welcome to the Intelligent Beauty, Sustainability, and Packaging Conversation. We want to thank you for being on this journey with us, and we're so excited that you've decided to make an intelligent choice for your salon by offering truly clean, natural, plant-based products to your clients that are highly efficacious and create a beautiful sensory experience. My name is Sue Remish, and I work with Intelligent Beauty in sales and education. And today I'm going to be talking with Tina Nescuda. Tina is the Chief Operating Officer for Intelligent Beauty. She's been involved since the very beginning of this rebranding and helping guide Intelligent in making really smart choices around packaging and sustainability. So let's get started, and then I will introduce you to Tina. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to bring Tina Nescuda on. Hi, Tina.
Hi, Sue.
It's great to see you. I'm so happy that you could join us today to talk about the intelligent beauty packaging and sustainability principles and ethos. I know that you have been, since the beginning of this brand revision, reemergence, you have been in every single conversation. So I'd love to just have you start out by telling us a little bit about what went into reimagining the intelligent beauty brand.
Yeah, Sue, our goal with the brand reemergence was to make all of the intelligent choices so that when our customers experience an IM product, they know they are getting the cleanest, the greenest, and the highest performing plant-based skin and hair changer available. And we know that we must deliver it with complete transparency and in the most sustainable way possible for the health of each other and for the health of the planet. As you know, natural has become a way of doing business, and consumers are looking for mindful brands that really walk the walk and talk the talk. They're scrutinizing and they are demanding transparency, as they are proving with their dollars.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And they're looking at every single way a brand participates now and not just what's in the packaging or what's in the bottle, right? So I've also been, obviously over the past year, hearing this rumble that has turned into honestly quite a roar that safety and offering products safely is really the new service. It's sort of at the core of service now.
Yeah, now more than ever, post-COVID, self-care is at the forefront, and consumers are more aware of what they eat, of what they put on their bodies, and what they bring home to their families and share with their friends.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that this whole conversation kind of started in food, and now it's definitely translated over to the products that we're putting on our bodies, right? Our skin, our hair, and our bodies.
Yeah, with the reimagining of IN, every choice mattered. And we wanted to make sure that we ticked all of these boxes. We believe that our time is now and the salon's time is now to be able to offer exactly what today's consumer is looking for from head to toe.
Yeah, there's a lot sort of packed into what you just said. What do you think for the salons that are listening to this today would be the key takeaways for them to share with their clients?
So, Sue, it is a lot. And right now, we're really focused on what's most important to all of our consumers and the choices that they're making. And ultimately, we are clean and green and we're sustainable beyond the call of beauty. To address a point that's top of mind for everyone is we really live by radical transparency. We list the exact percent natural and organic, and we disclose every ingredient on pack. We're third party certified to the strictest standards in the world, like Cosmos and USDA.
Mhm.
And of course, at IN, sustainability reigns supreme. So the USDA and Cosmos standards already eliminate thousands of toxic petroleum-based ingredients from our beauty routines, ensuring less burden on our body and less burden on the planet. Our formulas are a minimum of 85% natural, and our aromas are 99% certified organic essential oils and flavors. And of course, we look at packaging as key. Maximum post-consumer recycled content is utilized in every way possible. And it's part of our packaging and daily commitment to management of our footprint.
You know what I love about what you just said is it just sounds that like what you're saying is that innovation is in your DNA, and it's not just about product innovation. It's about how your choices are carrying through and affecting and touching every single piece of the world that you touch.
Yes, we've always been committed to being the change that we want to see in the industry and in the world. Ultimately, we formulate with cutting edge plant science with clinically proven results for hair and skin and body. We are activists for change, participating in many boards, councils throughout the industry, like the Safe Cosmetics Leadership Council, and many more, as we can all learn by our reference guide and future education modules.
Yeah. Packaging has really become central to the whole conversation in beauty. I mean, it sort of used to be that ingredients were the competitive playground for brands, but packaging, and I believe wholly this has really been pushed by the consumer, has become very central. And it's become as central as ingredients. Packaging has, and as somebody who's long, before I even got involved with you, looking from the sidelines, your choices around packaging are part of your ethos and part of your mission. Can you tell us just a little bit about, how you get to these decisions? Because it's something that I had never heard before, and I think it'll be fascinating for people to hear.
Yeah, so Sue, at the onset of this reemergence, we hired an outside company that specializes in environmental impacts, and they work with like-minded brands throughout different industries. For an example, Patagonia. And what they did is they created a proprietary tool that compares different packaging materials, and it provides a numerical score for each based upon impact, and impact on three very important things. Number one, human health. Number two, ecosystems. And number three, resources. And this tool was used to guide us in making quantifiable choices on our packaging materials. It analyzes weights, materials, recyclability, levels of PCR or post-consumer recycled content, and beyond. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. You were the first person I've ever heard say that you were making packaging choices based on human health. And that just struck me as such an important statement and such a unique point of difference about this product. I've heard companies talk about environment, I've heard them talk about resources, but I've never heard that phrase human health. I'm wondering, is this tool and this mindset sort of what led you to choosing using recycled glass versus plastic in the skincare packaging?
Yeah, this single move reduced our impact by 13%. As most of us know, smaller skincare plastic packaging, it's generally virgin. Post-consumer recycled content is not available. And because of its size, it doesn't get recycled. In addition, there's so many other elements to our packaging ethos. We never use metallized plastic closures as it can contaminate the recycling stream, nor do we use foil inks. In general, we avoid metal as mining metals is so detrimental to the environment. And yet, once again, almost every shelf you see tons of metallized packaging. It's synonymous with our industry for sure.
Yeah, the other super fascinating thing that just caught my attention is how you have carried these decisions right down to your sampling packs, your single-use sampling packs. And as we know, single-use product in the beauty industry is hugely detrimental to the environment because all those little pieces of plastic are just ending up in places they shouldn't.
Yeah, Sue, we believe that every choice matters, and we're trying to make the best choices one choice at a time. And we know that there's always a way. So we know that sampling will be key now more than ever post COVID. And our Lux paper based sample pack is 100% post consumer recycled paper. And it has a thin BPA free plastic liner that is non contaminating to the recycling stream. So you can just toss it in with your mixed paper recycling.
I just think that's amazing. Like the fact that you can recycle these sample packs with your newspapers, it just makes it so easy for people. And I think the easier we make things for people, the more they take that first step, and the more they take that first step, they take the second step, right? And it's such a amazing point for salons to be sharing with clients. I want to just switch gears for a little bit because I think there's a lot of information out there, and not just in the beauty industry, but really across category. That consumers are really trying to sort through companies that are making claims. Some claims are true, some are maybe not as true. They've got a little bit of marketing spin. I remember the first time, for example, that I heard how many toxic ingredients were hid behind the word fragrance. It was just shocking to me. I've been in this industry my entire career and I had never known that. So you say that Intelligent is radically transparent about their products, about their ingredients, about their packaging. I just want you to talk a little bit about that.
Sue, people believe that all of personal care products are regulated, and the government is looking at every product, and they're actually protecting us for safety as well as truth in claims. And that's just not the case. A brand can put just a drop of a plant organic ingredient in a formula and call it natural or organic. At IN, our formulas are a minimum of 85% natural, with an average of 96.2% natural across the line.
And you're listing this right on your packaging.
Yeah, Sue, just like every choice matters, we believe every ingredient matters. And we list every ingredient, including aromas, on pack. Unfortunately, many brands can hide toxic ingredients behind the word perfume as it's considered a trade secret. And those ingredients are just not required.
Yeah, and that's what I've now, since this is on my radar, proprietary blend of aromas or proprietary perfume blend or fragrance blend. And it's just a way that brands can get away with not being transparent. And I love that you say we're radically transparent, because you don't just talk about what's in the bottle, you talk about what's not in the bottle, and then you put it right on the packaging so that the consumer can self-navigate the best choice for her. I think it's just amazing.
Right. There's other also processing aids that aren't required. And of course, any type of processing aid we also include on our packaging. Also, beyond listing the percent natural and organic on every pack, we clearly define what natural and organic means. Using the strictest standards in the world. And this definition, it's clearly stated on our website, and it's on the website of Cosmos and USDA. So it's transparent and available for everyone to see.
Yeah, it's so great. I see some seals and certifications at the top of the back of this package here. And I think that another point of confusion for clients is around seals and certification. They see it on products and they know that it's good, but I don't know how many people actually know how to navigate this. So can you just help us with this navigation and shed a little light on this topic?
Sure. So I'll focus more on USDA and Cosmos, which are the strictest standards in the world. USDA, it started out as a food standard, and it was not really made for personal care products. It requires a minimum of 95% certified organic content, and it's mainly limited to ingredients used in food. And IN was the first personal care line launched in 2008 with
Yeah.
the USDA seal.
Okay, that's so great. And it's my understanding that our friends in Europe are way ahead of the world when it comes to regulation and safety. And that, is it true and accurate to say that they have banned thousands of more ingredients than North America, or the US anyway?
Yes, absolutely. And they did create the European Cosmos standard to control natural and organic personal care. And it provides the controls similarly to how the USDA does here in the United States for food. Every ingredient is vetted for sustainability, ensuring no GMO and no nanoparticles, responsible harvesting and manufacturing from seed to shelf.
Mm,
It
yeah.
also evaluates every packaging material. It's vetted for sustainability and excludes materials that are, again, synonymous with our industry, like PVC, styrene, and acrylic that we see all over the shelves in today's personal care lineup.
It's nice to see that, companies in the US are taking this really seriously, and even though we don't have the European, probably oversight, that we're taking steps to make sure that we're offering the safest products available. Let's switch gears for a minute and just talk about science, because intelligent beauty has 6 sciences that are very central to the efficaciousness of the product. And I don't, we would probably be here for a lot longer than time allows to go through all 6 sciences. But again, can you just give us an overview of what these sciences mean to the product and to the performance?
Absolutely. As you can imagine, Sue, clinically proven plant-powered science is the basis of every ion product. Ingredients sourced from every part of the planet. We're harnessing the power from seeds to seed to cells, plants, fruits, and beyond to deliver skin and hair while aging benefits. This is why you see Intella in front of each of the plant names. So IntelliFruit, IntelliPlant, IntelliSense, etc. One of the sciences that are that's most dear to us is IntelliSense. And we talk about IntelliSense, which are our aromas, as being, active and unforgettable. To us, they're all about scents that make sense. And we think of them as the heart of every product.
That's amazing. I love that phrase, sense that makes sense. I just think it's sticky. I think it's meaningful. And I know this is so close to the heart of this brand. Does this mean that each essential oil or aroma or flavor is actually selected for its benefit to the hair and the skin?
Absolutely. And they are made from 99% certified organic, pure, potent, and unadulterated essential oils and flavors. One of the biggest issues in the industry in general is adulterated oils. So we go to the nth degree to ensure that we have that purity and potency. And then also, every aroma is proprietary to us. It's created by our expert perfumist who has decades of experience, and of course, Horst, who left us a library of options in our secret vault.
Mm, that's really interesting. And I was in the secret vault only once. And it was so amazing.
There's lots of other things in that secret vault
Yeah,
as
and
well.
then I packed it up and moved it. I was like, I want access to the vault. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit. I think the IntelliSense is really interesting. I'd love to hear just a little bit also about IntelliCell science.
Yeah, IntelliCell science, we call it nature made, but lab perfected and fabulously futuristic. It is really based upon a very technical biotech selection process that extracts the most potent antioxidants and then it reproduces them in the lab. So these antioxidants are up to 1,000 times more potent than conventional antioxidants. In addition, we use one plant versus thousands. So that reduces water use, our CO2 emissions, and our overall footprint. It's really quite amazing.
That is amazing. And again, it just goes to show that the choices that Intelligent Beauty is making are touching every single part of the process, right? So it's not just getting to the greatest end product, but it's the decisions along the way that we can feel get us to the greatest end product, right? That again have the highest impact. So you have gone to great lengths to oh, sorry about it, I missed that slide, but we'll move on. To help customers navigate this, and you made really specific choices on your packaging. I'll just hold up one of our boxes here, and you did a navigation tool on the side of the box so that if customers are in a salon and there might not be anybody there to assist them, they're waiting for their appointment, that they can actually do a little self-navigation to get them to the right product to answer their needs. Tell us how this works.
Yes, if you look at the side of the carton, there are 3 bars. One bar indicates the percent natural of the product. Another bar indicates the percent organic. And the third bar has the skin concerns that the product addresses. And they're actually highlighted in the same color as the science botanical picture that is on the front of the box. So if it's a blue picture, you'll see the concerns highlighted in blue on the side of the box.
Hold this up for everyone to see. And then if it's a pink picture, it's highlighted this way. Well, sun's kind of catching there, but you get the idea. I love this because I know, after decades of studying how consumers move through this channel that, they shop by color, right? So they shop by color. So the easy navigation choice is to see the color on the front of the box and then see the addressed concerns on the side of the box as the same color on the front of the box. Very, very smart thinking.
Yes,
So,
and the bottle is also the same color.
that's
So
right.
it creates that connection all the way through.
Right.
Again, every choice matters.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Well, Tina, I just want to say thank you so much for spending time with us today. I think it's really helpful for people to hear, as I said, there's a lot of messaging going on out there in beauty land, and to be able to hear how IN Intelligent Beauty makes the intelligent choices that are going to translate to the salon in a really powerful way. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.